We start 2013 with the man who's grabbed headlines all of last year. Moving from being an activist leading large sections of Indian society enraged by government corruption to casting aspersions on the integrity of some of the most powerful people in the country to plunging into electoral politics, Arvind Kejriwal has been a busy man. But how will he convert a campaign which had a single point agenda, and that's to get the Jan Lokpal bill passed by Parliament, into a political party that can win elections to that same Parliament? Let's find out.
Arvind Kejriwal, 2013, the start, the first week of the new year. What is the goal for the new year? Delhi, November, Delhi, 70 seats?
I think elections is not the goal. We are not in politics for elections. We are in politics to change the politics of this country. That's what our goal is. Elections would happen. Aam Aadmi Party would win elections. That is certain, because we are talking the people's language. We are for the people's issues. It is their party. It is people's party. But it's much more than just merely elections. It's about challenging the existing politics of the country on a day-to-day basis, which we have started doing from 2nd October onwards.
Given that your aim and the Aam Aadmi Party's aim is to overhaul the Indian political system, political parties, political leadership and how it's conducted, how do you go about getting it done? Because at the end of the day, if you're now a politician running a political party, how do you end up fighting elections? Because that is really where everything will be tested, isn't it?
So how do we fight elections? In the sense, I think what you have in mind is where the money will come from, where the candidates will come from. Is that what you have in mind?
Yeah, because first let's start with what is the first election that you're going to fight?
Delhi elections.
Delhi elections, November or by the end of
2013.
This year, right? All 70 seats?
All 70 seats.
There are some 7 other elections likely this year, 7 other state elections including Karnataka
We may not
and
go
Madhya
for
Pradesh.
that. We may not go for that because we are not prepared right now. It's just born. The whole organization needs to be set up. We need to have our organization right up to every village, up to every polling booth. Likewise in Delhi we need to have. So that organization is being put in place. What BJP and Congress achieved in the last several decades, we have to do it in just 1 year. So I think Delhi is the first election that we'll go for.
And then 2014, the general elections. So there are some people who believe that why not wait till the next general elections, 2019, because it gives you time to do exactly what you're saying. This is more than 500 seats.
Right now there is so much of anger in the entire country. You see, 2 things are happening simultaneously. One is the whole country is being looted. Everything is on sale. Iron ore is being sold, coal is being sold, thorium is being sold, land is being taken away, forests, mountains, rivers, everything is up for sale. So on one hand, it's a very urgent situation in the country. There's so much of corruption, so much of corruption. The life of a common man has become difficult because of rising prices, which is due to corruption.
Right.
And on the other hand, you have an opportunity. Opportunity in the form of this movement where the people have come together. People, there is so much of anger, there's so much of energy all across the country.
So the time is right.
Now, it will be extremely difficult to sustain this momentum and sustain these energy levels up to 2019. It is now or never.
I think you've been very consistent about this message and this belief that you have. My question is, to win elections, about the nuts and bolts of electoral politics, putting up the candidates, getting people to, come out and vote, getting your message across. How ready are you on that front, and what is really being done there? Because people know the overarching message you have.
So as far as the candidates is concerned, as I said, at every stage we are going to challenge the existing politics. So even the selection of candidates is an extremely important task for us. Today you have people sitting in parliament and assemblies who have several cases against them, criminal cases against them. And they are given tickets by their party high command. And the rumors are that every person has to pay 2 crores or 5 crore rupees to get a party ticket. Now these people who are paying such a huge amount of money and spending such huge amounts of money in election campaign, obviously when they get elected they will indulge in corruption. We want to change this politics. So what we are introducing is some kind of a system of primaries like you have in US, wherein the party members elect their own candidates.
Right.
We will have a similar system in India also.
So people will nominate either themselves or people, and I think you have some 13 pretty elaborate steps. There'll be at least 2 levels of shortlists, and then finally the party members will vote.
Party members would then in their own constituency decide who they want to give ticket to. And Arvind Kejriwal or Prashant Bhushan or Yogendra Yadav or Kumar Vishwas will have no say in that.
You're saying that the groundswell of popular opinion and support seems like this is the right moment for you all to put in this initiative. And yet when you look at efforts like, the Lok Satta party, Jai Prakash's party in Andhra Pradesh, in 2009, he started the party about 3 years ago. In 2009, when he participated in the assembly elections, I think they got only 1 seat, and that is his. No seats in the parliament, in parliament.
I would like to distinguish the two in the sense that they are very good people. Timing is important.
Timing is critical. You made the point about timing being very different.
They are very good people. I have greatest respect from Jai Prakash Narayan. I have great respect for all the people in his party. They are very good set of people, very good initiative. They had good ideas. But the kind of energy level that exists today was not there at that time.
Would I be right in saying that all your confidence and all your expectations of your electoral performance in November, in the Delhi Assembly elections, are based on the timing of this party? And your beliefs?
Yeah, I completely agree, but let me put it the other way around. It's not my expectations from these elections. It's the people's expectations from this entire exercise. If more and more people in this country start believing that this Aam Aadmi Party is my last hope and this election is my last hope, I think the rest of the job is done.
You've talked over the past 2 years about the Jan Lokpal bill. You've talked about, the right to recall, referendum, initiative. These are some processes, systemic changes that your party would like to see. What about policies? Because I've been through your website, I've read your some of the thoughts you'll have put out there, and I've been hearing you. On the policy front, what do you believe on bilateral relations, Pakistan, relations with US, Telangana? What do you for instance have to say about Telangana? What do you for instance have to say about chemical castration for rapists? Because now you have to have a stand on everything and not just corruption.
I fully agree with you.
So what's the plan?
The plan is that there are lots of groups of experts with many committees are being put together. From 11th to 13th January, we have a meeting of almost 100 people where many experts are participating, and we are putting many committees together on various subjects. These committees will come out with their draft reports by March or April, and we'll put out these draft reports in public domain for public feedback, have seminars across the country and take public feedback. And that's how we'll finalize a party position on many of these issues. But I think the overarching issue is not about our stand on individual policies, because most of these things are dynamic in nature. Today the country has some issue, tomorrow there will be another issue, third day. What is important is what is the decision making process in our country on these issues. For instance, on a particular issue, how is the decision taken in our country today? A few people in the country get together and they take a decision. The Prime Minister, Mrs. Gandhi, a few cabinet ministers, group of ministers, EGOM, etc., etc. And the whole country has to follow those decisions. This is not democracy. Their only claim to this thing is that they have been elected. There was a process. So that process was followed and they've been elected. Now they can decide decide our destiny for the next 5 years.
I get that. But I'm not from Delhi, but if I were from Delhi and if I had to vote for you in November, what would I know of your views on economic policies, on bilateral relations, on affordable housing? It could be anything.
We'll get to know all this in the next 2-3 months.
In the next 2-3 months.
Wait for a few months. The party is just born. How many times did you ask questions about, say, our relations with US or Pakistan from Mulayam Singh Yadav? He's tipped to be the next Prime Minister. How many times did you ask him? How many times did you ask Samajwadi Party or Mayawati or Bahujan Samajwadi Party or say any other party that what are your views on bilateral relations, etc., etc. But wait for a few months. We were just born on 26th November. We are here because the governance in this country is rotten. The judicial system is rotten. The police is rotten. We are here to change the entire system of governance in this country.
So let's say I buy that argument.
Once you have that entire system of governance in place, good governance in place, just governance, justice system in place, friendly police in place, the rest of the things will follow.
You said, Arvind, do you ask Mulayam Singh or Mayawati or the BJP sometimes? So do you ask people what their ideology is? Maybe we don't, but that doesn't mean we have to exercise the lower standards for you all as well, right? You're setting the high moral
That is why
ground,
I said in the next few months you would have that.
Right.
And you would have that.
So
today, if you asked me about our stand on these issues that you're saying, I have my stand on each of these issues, but they are my personal stands. And I can, 6 of us or 10 of us or 22 of us, we can sit down and we can always devise a stand on these issues. It's a 24-hour job.
If I were to put it simplistically, center, right, left, will you all be right of center, left of center, economically?
We are common people, Aam Aadmi. We define a problem and then we try to find a solution. If the solution is in left, we pick it from there. If we find the solution is in right, we pick it from there. If the solution is in the center, we pick it from there. We have no ideological, because these ideologies don't provide solutions to a common man. The ideologies don't give you food, it doesn't fill your stomach. So ideologies may be there for intellectuals, but we try to find a solution. That is what our approach is.
You were grabbing headlines with your exposés right from October onwards. Now in hindsight, given that all the people against who you level charges are exactly where they are, nothing has changed in their life except for the fact that what may have been nudge, nudge, wink, wink and a whisper has now been said in public, and several media people have, several media platforms have repeated what you have said. Nothing else has changed. So my question to you is, when you look back at these exposés that you did, what do you think you've achieved?
This is what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to show to the people of this country that nothing happens to them. Whatever be the quantum of evidence, whatever be the gravity of evidence, whatever be the credence of evidence, nothing will happen to them. This is what we want to tell. That is the need. That is the reason that people of this country need to get up and demand a complete systemic overhaul.
So is it,
so much of evidence was there against each one of them.
I'm not getting into that, but I'm just curious today about you and this party and what you're going to be promising people like us who will have an option to select or elect you all. If we look at it cynically and say, okay, these are stunts. So Aam Aadmi Party knows that nothing will happen. Some of this information is already out there, but they are saying it because Arvind Kejriwal today gets a platform for whatever he says. And so it's free, just a good free ride to creating a party on national prime time and front pages of newspapers.
I don't think
there's nothing wrong with that. It's quite clever.
No, it is. But do you think the media is so gullible that they would pick it up? Do you think if all of what we said were already in public domain?
Some of it, not all.
Some of it. Media would never pick it up. Media never does. Media is very, very cruel. Media can be very cruel. It's not that I'm a very common man. I don't have any money to buy out media. I have no power to influence media. What do I have? We have nothing with us. Why did the media pick it up? Media picked it up because the evidence that we presented was very solid. Media picked it up because they were huge scams. They were huge scandals. And the top people of this country were involved in it. And still nothing happened. So two things people are, now, why is it people like us? Two things are there. वो ये कहते हैं, ये लोग ईमानदार तो बहुत हैं. These guys are very honest and the rest of the parties are very dishonest. और इनमें हिम्मत बहुत है. डरते नहीं हैं ये किसी से.
The point is that when you made this move from being outside the electoral fray, from being a section of civil society and wanting to influence the establishment or the political system, do you think you've lost a bit of the shine by becoming a politician? Today you are a politician. Whether you like it or not and whether you want to overhaul the political system is another point. The fact is, today you are a politician who has the same goal in mind, which is majority in the Delhi Assembly to begin with.
I think...
Because that's a calculated risk, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I don't know why should it be a risk for me? It is whatever we are doing it for the country. If I was doing something for myself to grab a position, to grab power, then there would be a risk to me. There's absolutely no risk to me. What is the risk to me? There's no risk to me.
I guess you won't admit it even if you do. But there is no second thoughts about this shift from moving from being outside the political system to wanting to participate in the political system? You don't have any second thoughts or qualms or reservations about this decision?
Of course not.
Were you building up to this all along?
Of course not. Of course not. I mean, that is completely wrong when you, two questions. One is, firstly, we were forced into it. And it is before the entire world that we never wanted to get into elections. We never wanted to get into politics. And it is because the government was so adamant on not passing the Jan Lokpal bill that we had to get into it. There was no other option left. The attitude of some section of media seems to have certainly changed. They have started treating us another political party.
Yes.
Secondly, this agitation took place. I am an individual. I went into that. Some people started saying politics karne aa gaya, politics karne aa gaya, politics
I was going
karne.
to get to that.
Right, politics karne aa gaya.
So there is a downside to this
No,
decision.
just listen. So it is that some section of the media that is saying that. People are not saying it. If the people had allergy to us, then the people have booed us out the way they booed out Sheila Dikshit. The way they booed out the rest of the politics. When I went there, people just hugged me, people welcomed me, people respect us. People were very happy that we were there.
But they didn't want you to take over that
Many people
protest.
said that, but we didn't want to take it because it was a people's movement. We didn't want to come in forefront. We completely stayed in the background. The country, large number of people are very happy that we have taken a plunge in politics. The people understand that without politics, without getting into politics, you can't change the things. You can't just sit outside and keep on shouting and screaming and live in a romantic world that someday the world would change. And we are very holy, we are very nice, we are very pure. We don't enter into politics. We have entered into politics. We have taken a straight plunge into politics. And because we want to clean up the politics. There's nothing wrong in it. And people are liking it. People are appreciating it.
Anna Hazare, a lot has been said about your parting ways with him or his parting ways with you, whatever it is. Do you miss him at all?
We miss him a lot. I have huge respect for him. And
it's not opportunistic that at that point, you know, his face and his reputation served a purpose. Now in phase 2 we don't need it.
In life to...
I don't know, Arvind. I don't know. I'm trying to understand.
Just try to imagine. People are saying that I already had political ambitions and I used Anna, and right from the beginning I was thinking that we will jump into politics, etc. In September 2010, this idea of Jan Lokpal bill came. We drafted a law. So now just imagine, then I sat down and I thought that now I should get Prashant Bhushan, Kiran Bedi and Anna Hazare in the fold, and I should form a team with them. And next year, in April, I'll make Anna sit on fast. And after Anna sits on fast, then the government will form a joint committee. I predicted that in November 2000.
So you're saying you're not that clever?
I mean, forget clever, it's not possible.
I get that. But okay, so now...
I mean, then I thought that joint drafting committee would fail, they will ditch us. Then I'll make Anna sit another time on fast in August 2011. And then it will become a huge affair. And then the parliament will pass 3 demands. And then the parliament go back on its word, and then we'll jump into politics. I wish I could predict the next 2 years like this. I wish I could predict what is going to happen tomorrow.
There are statements that have been attributed to him recently. In fact, at a TV Today Aaj Tak conference, because you have to give credit to the source, it seems he has made some statements there saying that you have betrayed him just as civil society was on the cusp of getting this Lokpal bill, Lokpal institution created. You decided to take this other route, which is to get in with a political party. What do you say to this feedback that he seems to be giving you?
I don't know why he said that.
It hurts
That's
you?
all. It hurts. It hurts very badly.
You just mentioned that the joint drafting committee and, you know, at that point, the Jan Lokpal bill was top of mind as a single point agenda for this whole thing. Do you feel you have put the Lokpal or the desire for the Lokpal, which was the starting point, on the back burner?
On the contrary, now there is a practical possibility that Lokpal might be there.
That's if you win seats in parliament.
We are very confident it will happen.
In 2014.
2014,
that is
2013,
if it
let's see.
doesn't get through the Rajya Sabha and then...
Let's see. Now there is a practical possibility it might happen. Otherwise, the possibilities were all over. On the basis of only movement, This government was not, this entire political spectrum, forget about only the government. BJP, Congress, none of these parties wanted a good Lokpal. All the parties cheated the country repeatedly in the last 2 years. There's been no Lokpal for the last 44 years. And you think there would have been a Lokpal now? They would never have given you Lokpal. In the last 2 years, they have made committee after committee, committee after committee, standing committee, this committee, that committee, and still there is no consensus.
If you don't see electoral results, either in Delhi or in 2014 in the parliamentary elections, then what happens to this desire, to the ambition for the Lokpal?
As I said, electoral defeat or victory, electoral victory is important, but that's not the goal.
No, I know, but for the Lokpal, to achieve the Lokpal,
our fight continues.
You're a man who, over a period of time, most of us believe, has no space for doubt. At least in your public persona or what you project to us, there is no scope for doubt in your mind about anything. But if I were to ask you to reveal a little bit of what scares you today,
what scares me most is not the outcomes. What scares me most is I really believe, and most of the people believe, that this is the opportunity. It's now or never in my lifetime. I'm very scared of making mistakes. That if we made a mistake, history will not forgive us. So we should not do anything wrong. Whether we succeed or not is not in our hands. We are doing everything today with the best of our intentions. We are working day and night. We are slogging it out. And therefore the only reason, because sometimes when you go out in public, the kind of outpouring that you see, their feelings, is just overwhelming. That is what scares. They have so much of hope from you. They have so much of hope and expectations from this experiment कि अब तो भारत बदलेगा. So we just can't afford to make any mistake.
Well, what can we say, Arvind Kejriwal? You have a tough year ahead with a lot of challenges. Let's see how you can galvanize this moment and this opportunity. And all I can say is Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you.